You can move wherever you need to. Hey, hush. Guys, we have 8 concepts to go over and review. You should already know how to do all of these. They should mostly be easy. I think there's only going to be one that's a challenge. However, we still have to do it. I have plenty of questions. I have unlimited questions I can pull on. So if you need another example, we can do as many examples as you need to understand it. Please title this Review. Yes, in your journal. If I'm writing it, you're writing it. Okay, I'm calling it Review/practice for the test. Now here's the deal. I was going to actually do your test today, but nobody seems ready. So we're going to practice. Yes. You should be able to do this without my assistance. If you can't do it without my assistance, you should be trying to figure out what step you're lost on. Okay? This is just going to say simplify. What do we need to change? Charles, do you know what we need to do? Yeah. Charles, do you know what we're supposed to do?
Don't you do the
Parentheses?
7?
It's going to be 7, but what kind of 7? Square root, yep. Okay, now here's the secret. You don't want to multiply these two numbers until you make sure that you can't take something out. So you just leave them as the multiplication. The 4's on the outside, and you have 7 times 7. Okay, Miguel, if I have two numbers that are same inside, what do I do? Circle and cross one out, and then what happens? Where does that 4 go? What happens with the 4? It stays. What happens with the 7? Outside or inside? The whole point, if you put it in a circle, it goes to the outside. Okay? David, can you give me 2 things that multiply to 6? Yep. Yes, sir. I do. I just got a brand new one. Okay. Rico, can you break down 7 for me? What are 2 things that multiply to 7? Yeah, it's called prime, and I said Rico, so please let him answer when I ask him. Okay, you guys, everybody, is there anything that's the same in those numbers?
No.
Aiden, phone away or I'll take it away. Okay? So since nothing can be taken out, we just go ahead and multiply those. Rolando. Charles, I'm saying Rolando. I said 6 times 7. What you got? Jack, yep, 42. Jackson, 4 times 7.
28.
Yep. And that is as good as it gets. Let's try a harder one. We want you guys to be ready for this test. Aiden, this is my 3rd time asking you to put the phone away. I'm going to ask you to put it face down, a little bit out of reach on the table. There's not a final because this is only the 6 weeks. We have one more 6 weeks after this. Okay. So your language is being recorded as well. Okay. Damien, can you give me 2 things that multiply to 40?
Bro, what?
Give me a second.
Yeah, bro.
You're getting 100% if you do this. This is counting as an assignment grade, which is going to help your grades because y'all are kind of sucking in the assignments. You're at 50-something% on your assignments. That's not true. How could you be that low? Okay, y'all need to hush. Josh, can you break down 4 for us? Mm-hmm. Jackson, what do we do when we have numbers that are the same? No? What do we do? And then what? And then what? Anyone? And then what? Okay. Somebody break down 10 for me. Okay, somebody else? Can we break that down anymore?
No.
Are those the same? Did that help us? So we don't need those. We're going to leave the 9 on top. What's going to come outside, the 10 or the 2? What's going to be stuck inside? Good. Now we're actually going to break down the 32 to see if we can pull something out. All right, you guys, give me any 2 numbers that multiply to 32. And Jackson, it looks like you're looking at your phone. I really want to just throw the phone out the window, so stop. Yeah, but Jackson is still looking at his phone. Okay, guys, are those the same? No, here's what I would do. You could break down the 4, but I wouldn't. Here's what I would do. I would break down the 8 as 4 and 2, and then I can circle the 4s. Which number comes outside, which number goes inside? Does 4 go outside or inside? What number goes inside? What was still left that we haven't used? The 2. You guys okay with that so far? Jermaine, do you see anything we could simplify between the top, the numerator, and the denominator? Is there anything we could cross out? The 2 could cross out with the 9 or the 4. And what would be left? What's 4 divided by 2? Just 2. Are you guys okay that I would have 9 times 2 square root of 2 over the square root of 10? You guys okay with that so far? So we just simplified if we could. Ben, do you know what we do next? We're not allowed to have the square root of 10 in the bottom, so what do we need to do? How? What do we need to multiply by? David, get off your phone and pay attention. Thank you. We're going to multiply by whatever's on the denominator. Okay, now the reason I'm not multiplying this yet is we're probably going to be able to cancel something out. Angel, I don't know what you're doing, but are you working on something for any class? Anyone believe him?
No.
Angel, I know you're not going to work for me, but at least get something done for some class so you didn't waste your whole year here. What class are you working on? Who? Okay, Wickle High. I don't know it. All right, guys. What do we do next? Anybody, what do we do? Anybody? Hey, let's go. What do we do? Nope. We're going to try to simplify inside. What do I do when I have 2 numbers that are the same inside? Circle, kill. What happens? I've got 9 times 2 on the outside. What's going to be on the denominator?
10.
Thank you. We're going to break down this 10. What can go into 10? 2 and 5. Circle, kill. I got an extra 2 coming out. Where's that 5 going to go? Outside or inside? Thank you. Edwin, give me something I can do. What can we reduce? Right here. What can I cross out? Can I cross out the 9 and the 10? What about the 2 and the 10? What would be left? What's 10 divided by 2? Yeah, so this would cross out and it would be 5. Jermaine, 9 times 2, please. We have 18, square root of 5. Sorry, my 18 was not right. Over 5.
What did you take out of the 2?
I took a 2 out of the 10, which means 5 was left.
Oh, okay.
This is a basic skill that when you go to TSTC or any other college, they'll give you a placement test, and if you can't do this, you won't be able to get into an actual college level. They make you take a remedial level, which is an extra usually over $1,000 for a class, and it can take at least a semester. Sometimes if you're really low, they make you take multiple remedial classes. Anybody want to go to school for an extra year to 2 years? Anybody want to pay extra thousands of dollars? Try this one. You guys too much. Okay, let's. Okay, you guys. What's our first step? David, thank you for volunteering. What's our first step? What are we trying to get rid of? What are we trying to get rid of? What are we not allowed to have? Not allowed to have that square root of 10 in the denominator. You want to tell us what to multiply by? Yeah. Whatever we're trying to get rid of, that's what we multiply by. Square root of 10, top and bottom. So I've got 10 times 10 here. Now on the top, I'm going to leave it as 8 times 10. Why am I not going to go 80 already? Why am I not going to put 80? Does anybody know? Or do you need me to explain? The reason we're not going to do 80 is because we're going to have to break it down anyways. Okay, are you okay that we have 2 10s? Circle and kill. So what's going to be my denominator? Now I'm going to have to break this down. Okay, this is scratch paper. Scratch paper, don't write this down. If I multiplied it as a square root of 80, I would then have to break it down as 8 and 10. So see how I'd have to undo the work I just did? There's no point in doing it to undo it. So this I would do 4 and 2. This I would do 2 and 5. Can I do an advanced move, or are we not ready for an advanced move? Here's my advanced move. I can circle those together. Are you okay that 2 times 2 is the same thing as 4? Are you okay that I would cross out those 2's and I would have a 4 outside and a 5 inside? If you're not okay with that, let me show you. We could have done 4 and 2. We could have done 2 and 5. We could have done 2 and 2. Circled, circled, killed, killed. 2 times 2, square root of 5. Are you okay? That's the same thing as 4 square root of 5. So it's just a shortcut. Aiden, can you tell me something we could cross out top and bottom? What's a number we could take out of 4 that we could also take out of 10? What are some numbers that multiply to 4? And? 2 and 2, right? What multiplies to 10? What was the same in both of them? So if I divide 4 by 2, what would be left? Anybody? If I divide 10 by 2, what would be left? That's it. That's literally it. Can we move on to the next one, or are we still struggling on that? Can we go to the next thing, or are we still struggling? Guys, are we struggling or can we move on?
Oh, okay. 4 divided by 2 is not 5.
Where are you getting 5 from, sweetie? So we took 4 divided by 2 is 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. What are the factors of 4? I could do 2 times 2. I could do 2 times 5. Cross out the 2. What's left? 2, 5. Do you still need more of this, or should we go on to the next thing and then come back if we are still feeling a little lost?
Yeah.
The next one I think is easier for you. Okay? Alright, this is super easy. The only thing that confuses kids is, do we need those parentheses?
No.
We actually don't. So this is like I take away 4i. How many i's is the first one? It's just 1. What's 1 take away 4? 3 is almost right. -3. Don't forget the I. That's it. Okay, there's going to be a couple questions like that. How do we feel about those ones? Yeah. These are the ones I told you didn't have to show work on. On the notes, you need to write down what I'm writing down. But on the test, I'm not going to make you show work.
What?
Okay, now on this one, do I need these parentheses? Is there a power? Is there anything being distributed? Then I don't need those parentheses. So this is minus 3i minus 7i. What does that make? You can show me with your fingers if you want to know. Okay, these are both negative, which means you're traveling in the same direction, so they add. Yep. Okay, so this should be negative what, y'all? Negative 10, don't forget the I. All right, guys. Do I need those parentheses? No, so just write it down. 5 take away 7, what does that make? Ooh, no, Orlando, try again. 5 take away 7? No. Try again. No. No. Negative 2. They're going different directions. You're good with that one? You ready for the next level? I told you guys there's 8 concepts. Oh, son, I said concepts. The first 3 were one concept. Those 3 were one concept. Okay. Yes, sir? You got 30 minutes before you see me. Okay, you guys. Here's the deal. Do you see how this has 2 things inside the parentheses with a negative out front? We're going to distribute that negative. So instead of negative times a negative is a plus 6. Negative times a negative is a plus 2i. And then you're just going to combine like terms.
So negative 3i.
It is. The only thing is they always put the real number first, so it would be 6 minus 3i.
That's harder.
It's harder because you had to distribute. Does that make sense? And you also had to know what to combine. Let's do one more at that level, and then I think you're ready for the next thing. Can I move the page?
You just understand. What about Buddy, but I'm disrespecting. What? That comes in when everybody's good. Back shots.
Okay, I'm going.
No, but you didn't see the story about us, it's crushed.
Do you guys see this right here? Try that one. Okay? Edwin, phone. Victor, can you tell me my first step?
No.
Do you know the first step? Are you following along with us?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I need the parentheses on that? Yeah. Rolando, are you with us or should I just leave you alone?
No, I'm with you.
Okay, what do we do, babe?
So what you gonna do is you gotta find like, no, yeah, you gotta take out
If you don't know the word, tell me what to, what?
You gotta take out the other parentheses, or do you gotta change the symbol?
You're going to have to change the signs because that negative.
I think make it positive.
So tell me what this is going to be now.
Positive.
It's already positive.
Negative.
Negative 2, and then what?
Negative 1. So you have to button.
Yeah, it goes to both of them. Okay, the biggest mistake people make is trying to multiply these. But if there's a sign in the middle, you're not multiplying them. Edwin, can you tell me which two things can go together? Yeah, so do you know how many that makes? Yeah, the 2 goes first, then the I. Are you guys ready for the next level?
Number of on steps, so I know whether or not it's supposed to finish.
It's 3 lines. I'm doing it right here. Okay. Okay, the reason that this is different is it's actually exactly the same, but because there's 2 here, people try to FOIL this out. You guys see how there's a number in the middle? I mean, a sign in the middle? It's still not multiplication, you don't need the parentheses on the first one because nothing's distributed, there's no power. We're just going to take this and flip the signs and then combine like terms. Okay? Matthew, can you help me flip the signs? So this would become what? Plus 4. Kevin, can you tell me 2 things that we can put together and what it makes? What's it make? Good. Negative 3 is perfect. David, do you think you can put these eyes together?
Yeah,
How many does that make?
Huh?
How many does that make?
Wait, these multiply?
They're different signs you're subtracting. 5A, take away 4I. Mm-hmm. Are you guys okay with that? I have 4 more questions I'd like to do to make sure that you're actually ready. If you don't understand, we're going to have to break it down, and that's fine. Okay? This one's going to be a longer one.
Oh, man. Did you put 9 again?
Oh, sorry, 10.
How much space?
I don't know how many lines. If it was me doing it, it would take me this much space. Okay, let's start. Hey, hush. If it says solve, what are we trying to get alone? Aiden, can you tell us our first step? We're trying to get the n squared. What are we going to get by, we're trying to get it alone. What do we need to move? No, we're leaving the n where it is. What do we need to move? We need to move the 1. How do I move the 1? Add, subtract, multiply, or divide? What's the opposite of addition? Andrew P., what does negative 6 minus 1 make? Kevin, what's our next step? Divide by what? Accurate and perfect. Rico, do you know what we do? Oh, hold on. How do we get rid of a square? Square root. Okay, we're in the square root both sides. When I put in the square root, what do I have to remember? David, do you know? Josh, do you know? When I add the square root, what do I have to remember? The plus. N equals plus minus what? Jackson, put the phone away. Okay, what does that negative come out as, you guys? Negative comes outside the square root as what? As an I. And then we have the square root of 7 over the square root of 9. You guys, what's the square root of 9? Yeah. So this is just going to be n equals plus or minus I square root of 7 over 3. You're done. The I just means you took the square root of a negative. Okay, 11. You try. That's too big in numbers. Let me pick a different question. That's still too big, too big. Let's try that one. Okay. Jackson, tell me my first step. Good. Miguel, what does this side make? I don't know what you just said, sorry. Yep. Victor, what's our next step? We want to get the r squared alone. What do we need to get rid of? How do I get rid of it? Add, subtract, multiply, or divide? Good. So I've got r squared equals negative 3 over 2. Marissa, what's our next step? Square root. David, when I take the square root, what do I have to remember? What do I have to remember when I take the square root? Thank you very much. Josh, when I have a negative on the inside, what does it come out as? No. If I have a negative, what does it come out as? Andrew, am I allowed to have a square root in the denominator? No. So what do I need to do? By what? Square root of 2. You guys okay that that would just be 6 over 2? That's it. Okay. I think you are emotionally over these. I'm not convinced that you are mastered at this, but I think you're emotionally done with that. Is that correct?
Mostly done with everything.
Like what, you know, when they just throw like one of those like life things off of the old movies when they made it. It's just, that's what Charlie's doing.
Sometimes he throws bungee jump on his leg.
I'm gonna go in there, I swear.
Okay, you guys, let's switch back to the last few concepts with multiplying with I. What is this gonna make, Kevin? Nope, we got a lot to go. Nope, multiply, what's 4 times 2? 8I, how many I's did we have? What does I squared mean? Should help you though. You guys, what does I squared become? Nope. You guys, what does I squared mean? Oh my God. Oh my God. -1. So 8 times -1. What's 8 times -1? What is 8 times -1? My gosh. Okay, so it looks like we need to do a lot of these. Okay, let's try that.
You're like just way too fast.
I'm grabbing.
Oh yeah, which means you guys like slow down. I'm gonna
If I slow down, then you have homework.
Backwards, shit. What do you try it like that? Mechanics.
That's how you're supposed to write them for imaginary number. Okay, you guys, what's 3 times 4? Yep, so this is going to be -12. How many i's are there? So it's going to be I squared. Who remembers what? I squared means -1, so this is -12 times -1, which makes? What's a negative times a negative? What's 5 times 3? How many i's do we have? What's the power on the I? What does I cubed mean? Can you flip back to the page? It means -I. Are you guys okay that this would be 15i? -15i, I'm sorry. Okay. There's one more concept that I want to show you, and then there's a challenge one that if you can get right, that you get an extra 10% on any test. Extra 10 points on any test. Okay? You can add it to, it goes this week, sweetie.
Save it. Can I cash it in and use it?
How about I just make some other ones that we do for the final? Okay?
Can I have 7 points in extra credit?
I mean, not to find okay. Can we do this?
No,
The challenge one.
do a challenge. What the?
What? No, this is the normal one. The challenge will have 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you're just going to FOIL this out. What's a -2 times -5? Aiden, put the phone away.
Time out.
Anybody know?
Oh, -10.
What's a negative times a negative?
10.
-2 times 7i.
-14.
Okay. Jackson, can you tell me the next thing I'm going to do? Aiden, do you know? Edwin, do you know? What do we do next?
Where's my pencil?
Damien, do you know? David, do you know?
What?
Do you know what we do next? Do you know? So we did the 2 to both of these. Do you know what we do next? Yeah, the 3 to both of those. What is 3i times negative 5?
You're so smart. And the handicap.
3i times 7i? 21i squared. You guys, what are we going to do with the I squared? What does the I squared become? What does I squared become? This is the same thing as 21 times negative 1. You guys, what's 21 times negative 1? Yep. So I've got 10 minus 14i minus 15i minus 21. Combine your like terms. What can go together? Someone besides Charles or Andrew. The i's. What does that make, Jackson? You don't gotta be rude. Are you adding them? Because you should be adding them. They're both negative, so you add them. But I said not you. I literally said not you and Charles.
What's 15 plus 15? No, what's 15 plus 15?
30.
Okay.
And then take away 1.
Now take away 1.
That's exactly what I do too.
Good job, guys.
Rico, can you put these ones together? They're different signs, so they subtract. Negative 11. Okay, so it's expected that you can do this.
That was easy.
It's not hard.
You know, it's weird. I could figure this out, right? I got that, but I just can't do this.
The square
I
roots.
got the easy ones.
Once I get on the, once we do this,
Yeah, like those were like.
well, I'll be like, I don't know, it's not hard when I'm doing it over notes or over the assignment, it's just when I'm on the test, my brain just goes blank.
That's what I'm
Come on, shut up.
Kiss it. Do it.
Matthew, do you know our first step? Which 2 things are we going to do together? Multiply which 2 things? Make. Do you know what 4 times 3 is? Negative 12.
He sounds like,
Damien, do you know our next step? Okay, so we multiplied the 3 to the 4. What else do we need to multiply it by still? Are you okay with that? See how this one's going to go to both of them? Damien, can you tell me what that would make? Negative 3 times negative 3i. I can't hear you over this nonsense. 9? Yeah, 9 what? It is, because a negative times a negative is positive. And then don't forget the I. Tell me what we do next. Which makes? Yeah, but what's the 6 and the 4 make? Negative 6i times 4. What does that make? 24 what? It is, and what goes here? Thank you very much. Josh? No, we're gonna, which needs to still be multiplied? Which two things have not been multiplied yet? So we did the 3 to both of those. We did the 6 to the 4. What does the 6 still need to multiply to? 3, yep. Josh, do you know what negative 6 times negative 3 is? Okay, anyone want to help him out? Plus 18, and then how many i's? What does I squared always become? This is like negative 1, right? So I've got 18 times negative 1, which is just negative 18. Everything else just comes down. Is it okay if we combine those? Marisa, can you combine those for us? 9i minus 24i. Hayden, put it away. David, put it away. What did you get? I think it's 15, isn't it? I think it's 15. Am I crazy? No, it's 15. 15i. Okay. Ben, can you put the last ones together? Shut up. Shut up. Y'all, shut up. You add them. Negative 30. Okay, I thought you said negative 3. Okay, guys, I'm going to turn the page, so you better hurry up and write that down.
Turn the page.
You have room? I don't. I only have this many squares.
Oh, Miss only has 6 minutes?
That's great.
She said she uses every single minute.
You guys are so behind, I'm not even playing with you. And I give you time to catch up, you don't do jack. So I'm going to use every minute.
Man, the people that are behind me, people that come stone in class.
That's
Hey,
accurate.
don't do that. No, because I'm not behind.
It didn't say it was mutually exclusive.
Do not. Do not.
Write it down. Write it down.
Do not make me seem like a drug.
I'm going to do this one. Shut up. I'm going to do this one. You're going to write it down, and then I will give you a challenge one. And if you can show me the work and have it right, you get 10 points extra credit on your test.
I died.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and get started.
Wait, hold on.
The secret is you just do 2 at a time. So I'm going to do these 2 first, and then we're going to ignore this one for a minute. What?
You're laughing at you.
I don't care if you laugh at me. 3 times 8, 24. 3 times 4, 12i. 24i plus 12i squared. I'm going to pause for a second. I just multiplied those 2 out. We're just going to combine like terms. Okay? These are going to go together. You guys, what does the I squared become? What does I squared become? Yeah, so this is really like minus 12. You okay with that? What's 24 take away 12? So I've just got 12 plus 36i times 7 minus 8i. And then I just FOIL those out again. You're 100% going to want a calculator. 12 times 7, 84. 12 times 8, 96. 36 times 7.
gonna use the other one.
I got you.
The other one. You can use this one. You need to grab from
What is wrong with you?
But he's not gonna have hands, how is he gonna hold you?
He's gonna lay it down.
This Nate, can you stop? Okay, you guys, that's your answer.
Is that what we're doing?
This is your, yep, but I'm gonna move it for a second so that you can see the rest of that.
Is we submit this?
You will submit it, yep. Can I put the multiple choice? Okay, guys, this is your challenge problem. You gotta show me the work. You show me the work with the right answer. I gave you multiple choice so you know if you're on the right track, okay? Go ahead and take a picture of that real quick so you know you can try it. If you're not gonna try it, that's fine. It's just what we just did. Yep. Okay, so if you do this and you turn this in,
What are we turning in at?
there's an assignment on Canvas.
Does it say like extra?
No, you just turn it in with this.
Which one is it?
It's literally called review/practice for the test.
Answer that you got on the
I'll do it.
That's fine.
You got that?
372 plus.
Yep. Okay, so if you have through here, you're gonna get 100%. If you have the extra credit one, now it has to be turned in before the test. Test is Monday. Okay? You guys have a great day. Thank you very much.
No,